Bone conduction, bone conduction. Where have you been? Where have you been that's affordable? I ask again and again. Here is ALOVA bone conduction that's actually affordable. This is a $39 bone conduction thing. But it's by ALOVA, and you get Bluetooth 5.0 in this guy, which is great. You get the power button, you get the volume rocker, and you know, a multi-function button is also included, which is great. These mimic along the lines of the Aftershok's titanium or whatever, like their first gen bone conduction is where this is kind of following along the lines of that, but it's half the price currently and a third of the price originally. So this is completely affordable. It has a 4-hour or 3.5-hour battery life, should we say, so quite short on that end of it. But you can throw these things around, leave them hanging on your rear view mirror. It is IP56 rated bone conduction, which sits in front of the lobe hole, and these things sound best with earplugs in, so they're ideal for lawn care. I mean, I love bone conduction headphones. They're my absolute favorite. You're not going to get fantastic audio quality no matter what brand you go with and how much you pay. You're not getting the same quality as headphones or actual earbuds themselves, because if you don't have earplugs in, they kind of just leak out of your ear hole. So you get about like half the volume or 3/4 of the volume. You put the earplugs in and you actually get a full volume resonance inside your ear, because this sits outside the ear, of course, and you can see there in the photo. You get a volume rocker, power button, and a multifunction switch right there. So that works great. You get some microphones there, and this sits in front of the ear, and this is pretty soft. The volume and the audio, the vibrations and everything will go there in front of your ear hole, up against your kind of jawbone there, skull bone actually, right above the jaw, and that will filter into your ear, and it will also escape the ear, but it's completely bendable. Throw this around your rear mirror or something like that, and you know, you're good to go. It's got micro charging here, and this is another issue that I found with it. It's just difficult to pop this open if you don't have like a little fingernail or so. And I found it best to swipe from the side. It'll kick it up and you can grab it. If you try the top right here, you'll just be trying forever. But the USB, micro USB is here. And then we can stick that down in there. And how that kind of seals itself off is just, see the port insert there. It will kind of go in and help shield stuff from getting inside that port. Hold this down to turn on. You get your notification light, which you can find this easily in your Bluetooth settings. You can feel it connect. You can feel it vibrate through this in your hand, so that transfers over into your skull. But yeah, it's kind of beefy. I wish it had better battery life. I do say that, but and it's a little beefier here than I would like. Let's show you in a comparison to the Aftershok's Air, and these should be a fair comparison. With these would be the titaniums, but just for comparison's sake, you can see that it's a little thinner through here, and this is what goes over the ear and allows for sunglasses. So this makes it a little uncomfortable to wear some sunglasses. If you have a thin wire frame, you might be able to scoot that in, but this has got to occupy some space between your skull and ear, so you can see how thin this is and how thick this is. So sunglasses could be an issue, safety glasses could be an issue. So if you're doing lawn care, it could be uncomfortable for you. That's the battery life and the comfort around the ears with glasses would be my only concern, period, with these, because they have a little less volume than these, but they're a third of the price. So that's pretty fancy in itself. And here are the pads themselves here, and this is what goes up against your head, and you can see the kind of difference of the pads, where they've manufactured those to be quite different. But you do get audio. You do get a decent amount of audio through here that sounds fine with earplugs in, and that's how I use it. I use it for mowing the grass and stuff like that. It's great. And also, if any kind of fitness that you want to do where you want to be in the know, like if you're running or cycling or something like that, and you want to have that spatial awareness around you to be alert, these are fantastic because it adds enough to where you can audibly hear it. And you can also hear your surroundings, which are great, and I highly recommend that. And also on long vacation car rides, say the family's asleep, Dad wants to listen to a podcast, he can throw these in and still maintain alertness and awareness and listen to music, podcast, or whatever he wants. These are my favorite. Bone conductors are my favorite type of headphones. So let's take a look at this on myself. So now let's try these guys on, and they just pop on like so, right over your ear holes and right in front. And I have a hat on. You can wear a hat just fine. But like I said here, there's where the thickness can come into play. There's a little room right through here in between this and your skull where you could get a thin frame in. So don't think you can't. Just know that you can't really get a thick of a frame as you can on some of the other ones, like the Aftershokz Air. And Aftershokz actually has a new one out as well, but it's really super expensive. I honestly don't think bone conducting headsets or earphones or whatever you want to call them should go over the price of $100. There's just, I don't see the tech there. I don't see a 5-hour battery life. I don't see everything that's involved because you're not really focused on the quality like you are earbuds or headsets or something like that. You're just focusing on kind of volume. So you do get this multifunction button, and whenever I push this twice, I do get this. So how's the weather this week? And then we get the forecast. And I can hear that through there. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear it just fine. And let's just listen to a little bit of music so you can see what that sounds like outside of my head. This is full bass that's just throbbing. And it can tickle. So just know that it can tickle. You hear anything? I have it maxed out here, which you get an audible beep when you're maxed out, and I have it maxed out here as well, which I can do all my turnings up and down now from here if I wanted to. But if I was away from my device, you know, I could use this, which is still nice. And I can also play and pause from the power button in the middle. And while I'm listening to music, if I wanted to know something from Google, double tap the button. How's that weather today? Boom. But I think this is completely fine for your everyday travels. I'd actually turn this down to 3/4 volume on the phone max here to be able to listen to music or listen to anything while I'm out in the community. So $40 for this is not bad, even when you figure in the 3.5-hour battery life that I got out of this. I've had this for a month now, and I've really, you know, compared it to here. The fit and finish around the back, it sticks out a little bit here. So do these, but they don't get in the way of your hat or anything like that, which I really like and appreciate that. It's hard for me to listen to myself with this thing going, so I paused it. But anyway, yeah, it does a great job. And whenever you seal off your ears, it just gets that much louder and that much more bass in there when you seal off your ears. You do get earplugs with it, so you can be able to test that out in the gate and go. I always listen to these. Bone Conduction headphones are my favorite by far, just for being out in the community, being active, and still being aware of my surroundings. You can listen to these. You can go in the grocery store, somebody asks you something, you could talk and still be listening to whatever you're listening to, and that is fantastic. So yeah, I super highly recommend these for $39. Honestly, this is probably the best Bone Conduction headphones for the price that exists that I've been able to just come across and find. If they make a version 2, it would be nice if they could reduce the size of this down. I think they really need to work on reducing this down And if they can double the battery life, that would put that as being like, boom, fantastic, because Treks, you know, they get like 5 hours and that's all you get. So, and they're like the standard, to me, the industry standard, because of just how comfortable these are. They're made out of the same material feeling. This one's more grippy. The cheaper ones are the more grippier ones. The Treks is more slippery, but this is a little thicker than these, but this is also a third of the price. So it's kind of hard. You're not getting perfection in the audio department, so spending a lot of money. If you've got the money to spend, go for the Treks, but I think it's kind of redundant, and you're going to get the same thing with these guys. So make sure to explode on that subscribe button and ding that bell so you get notified on the next really cool product I'm able to bring you that's a third of the price of the lead brand. So that's a fantastic win-win. See ya.